Starting this year, you might find a different type of retirement account inside your benefits package. But given its restrictions, is it going to be useful at all? A very special welcome back to the 3.2% or so of you who are subscribed. And if you're new here, I'm Raymond, a software engineer on the path to financial independence and retiring early. If you'd like to follow me on my journey, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. It really helps out the channel, so thank you so much in advance. Without further ado, let's dive into the topic of this new retirement plan-ish account. Now, with the passing of the Secured 2.0 Act in 2023, there's a new type of account called the Pension-Linked Employee Savings Account, otherwise known as a PLESA. I don't think there's really agreement on that so far. It is what it says on the tin. It is an employee savings account. Employees can contribute an after-tax amount of up to $2,500. Hi, editing Raymond here to explain what recording Raymond didn't do very well. Upon reading the comment in the initial document from the IRS, again, it seems like what it meant is that the contributions at any time, there is no limit, but you cannot have more than $2,500 in your account at any given point. And the benefit to you as an employee is that your employer can actually match you on your emergency savings. Now, there are some caveats here. In order to contribute to this plan or even have access to this plan at all, you can't be a highly compensated employee, which means that you can't be making an adjusted gross income of about $155,000 every single year. Here's why I think that it's good. I think in general, this is a net positive for most Americans, especially since about half of them can't afford to pay a $1,000 emergency or sudden expense without dipping into credit cards or selling something off. I think the idea of having your employer potentially matching up to 3% of your emergency savings contribution is also pretty solid. Unfortunately, for those of us who are on a more aggressive path to financial independence and retiring early, I don't think that this is going to be the right plan for us. The first thing is that $2,500 is not a lot for those of us who already have a pretty large emergency savings. Could $2,500 help us get through a particularly rough month? Absolutely. But if we're talking about 3 to 6 months or multiple emergencies in a row, in addition to that, there's a lot of language right now that I feel like is still a little bit restrictive or at least a little bit vague. The IRS makes it very clear that it doesn't want contributions or employer matches to go above $2,500. But will that savings accrue interest? Could it be invested? Or does it just have to sit as cash that is earning nothing? Another problem with this type of account that I see is that it really depends on your employer. Employers can choose to match up to 3% of that account. And if they want, they can even lower the total maximum balance that you can have on your PLESA. And I think the weirdest thing is the restrictions that your employer can have on withdrawals. Now, the IRS requires employers to at least allow one withdrawal every single month. But that's all they require. If you have multiple emergencies in a month and you need more money from that account, you're kind of screwed. Now, here are my final thoughts. I think in general, the PLESA is a great idea for the average American who doesn't really have anything in savings currently. And I think that if your employer is particularly generous, that 3% match is gonna help you hit your goals of your emergency savings, whether inside the PLESA or outside, a lot quicker. The thing is though that this plan is not really for folks like you and I who are on the path to financial independence and retiring early. Those of us who already have the emergency savings, who are saving aggressively. The PLESA isn't going to do much to help us out here. Not only is the plan restricted to those of us who make under $155,000 a year, which, I mean, to be fair, includes myself currently, but the problem is if your employer is particularly restrictive, and at the end of the day, $2,500, although is a lot for the average American, isn't really a big amount in terms of considering an emergency savings account. But let me know what you all think in terms of the PLESA. Have you seen it in your benefits package? And if offered, do you think that you would consider adding money into it? Let me know in the comments down below. Again, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button or subscribe. It really helps out. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all in the next video.